Tonight, Troy's concert band uses music to preview Troy Fest.
Plus, students bouncing and building castles on the quad. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for April 25th, 2012. I'm Tiffany Lester.
And I'm Courtney Still. Thank you for joining us this evening. Canned goods can be used in a variety of meals, but they can be included for a recipe of castle building as well. Troy University students tried to find out today as a way of helping to fight hunger in Pike County. Jamarlo Phillips has the story.
Wednesday afternoon, the Department of Learning Initiatives and First Year Studies held an event on the main quad of Troy University to help raise canned goods for the Salvation Army.
I'm representing Kappa Delta, and we're Family Podcast Phi, and we're out here today. We all brought cans, and several different organizations donated at least 100 cans apiece to come and build can castles, and that goes to preventing hunger in America. And the title of the event is called "Hunger is No Gain."
We have a bunch of teams out here that have all collected a bunch of cans, at least 100 for each team. We're all building castles right now. The competition will be over at 1, but we're all like crazily working, trying to get our castles inside.
And it's basically to get the university to mobilize against hunger and food scarcity in Alabama. All the cans that we bring together today are being donated to the local Salvation Army. So to get a lot of organizations on campus to get competitive and actually willing to participate in bringing cans together, we're having a castle contest.
As many organizations showed off their talents in building the best canned castle, one student tells us she is more than happy to be able to feed those who can't feed themselves.
28% of families in Pike County don't have enough to eat right now. And so that just, at Circle K, we are a service organization, and so we want to serve these people, and we want to get these canned goods together and help feed the families in Pike County who can't feed themselves.
Jamarlo Phillips, Troy, TrojanVision News.
1,675 cans were collected for the contest. The Christian Student Center won the most creative castle competition, and the team of Pi Cap and Katie collected the most cans overall.
Music filled the square in downtown Troy last night, an area that will be filled with artists and community members as Troy Fest comes to town. And Judson Garner shows us that the music was a way to get people in the festive mood.
On Wednesday, for the 10th year in a row, Troy University's concert band used the square in downtown Troy as a venue for its spring concert.
Right now we're doing our 1 and 2 club band concert down to the square. Everyone from non-majors to majors, everything you can come up with.
The symphony on the square is seen as something that connects Troy University to the city of Troy.
Troy University symphony bands are getting people downtown, just getting them to remind them how beautiful downtown is, the weather's perfect.
Troy University has done other concerts on the square before, but this concert has an added purpose.
Well, music is an art, so that does incorporate with Troy Fest, and it's just good to get the community out in downtown Troy to get them, coming down here and spending money here and doing things like that.
This event kicked off Troy Fest activities, and some attendees wanted to make sure that everyone knew it.
Can you please come to Troy Fest? I really want you to. It's so much fun.
Judson Garner, Troy TrojanVision News.
Troy Fest will be this Saturday and Sunday on the square in downtown Troy. And well, this semester is coming to a close and students are starting to prepare for those dreaded finals.
That's right, Tiffany, but Troy University's UAC held an event to allow students to kick back, relax, and help ease the pain of studying. Justin McNally has the story.
Finals are fast approaching, which means the biannual all-night study fest, cranky college students, and graduation are just right around the corner. But what if there was a way to put all those worries behind you? What if students could partake in events that made them forget finals even existed? Well, they can. Enter Spring Fling.
It's really awesome, especially during this time of the year, because you got finals coming up, group projects, end of the year projects. So it's a really stressful time for the students, but to be able to come out here and hang out and, get free food, t-shirts, and do some flips, it's a great time, stress reliever.
Spring Fling is held every year by the Troy University UAC. It allows students the opportunity to cut loose for a day while running on an obstacle course, doing some trampoline flips, and even seeing what a NASCAR driver goes through. and students are thrilled to be able to play some of their favorite games.
Honestly, the jump thing right here, you do some flips, because I've never been able to do it because I weighed too much, and they finally had a weight requirement I can meet, and I can do it, so I was pretty excited about that.
The UAC puts events on throughout the entire year in order to gather campus involvement. Spring Fling is a great way for students to interact with others they have not met, and as Melanie Newman says, for those who didn't come out this year, next year they need to make plans to attend.
They're definitely missing out. I would say that it's just one of those opportunities, it only comes around once a year, and it's something you don't have to pay for. The UIC really took care of it, and it's just something to come out and enjoy yourself for. So if you're missing it this year, you definitely need to put it on your calendar for next year.
The final's just around the corner. Spring Fling is a great way for Trojan students to come out here and play some games and blow off a little steam. Justin McNally, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Spring Fling is held every year to give Troy University students a chance to have some fun before finals, which for Troy University students starts Thursday, May 3rd.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Coleman, Governor Robert Bentley is visiting more communities to get a first-hand look at the state of tornado recovery a year after the April 27th twisters. Bentley is spending the week in areas that were hit by more than 60 twisters. About 250 people died statewide.
Talladega police say they're investigating the theft of tons of corn from a feed mill. Police spokesman says feed corn worth $175,000 is missing from Koch Foods.
And in Vestavia Hills, authorities say a 6-year-old girl is in fair condition after she was severely burned by an electrical transformer at the Liberty Park Sports Complex. The mayor says the girl was playing on a playground in the area when she wandered inside the fence surrounding the transformer.
And still to come in TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan baseball team played host to Auburn last night at Riddle Case Field. Danielle Percival will be in with the details of that game later in sports.
But first, the Supreme Court took up Arizona's controversial immigration law today. We will see where this case stands now when we come back.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live United for Education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
Over the course of time, Troy has consistently turned out quality graduates.
We're trying to develop future leaders.
If it had not been for Troy University, I would have never had the honor of being the Alabama Teacher of the Year.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. And we do that within the framework of one real university.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Tiffany Lester at the Global News Desk. Tiffany?
Thanks, Courtney. The Supreme Court listened to arguments today about Arizona's tough immigration law. The Justice Department sued the state to block the law, saying it goes too far. Daniel Nottingham is at the Supreme Court with the details.
Outside the Supreme Court, demonstrators on both sides had their say about Arizona's immigration law.
We don't need people coming in here illegally.
People have a right to come into cross borders to help their family.
Inside, justices listened to arguments about one of the most controversial parts of the law. It would require police officers to perform roadside immigration checks of people they've stopped or detained if police believe the person may be in the country illegally.
It became clear today during the argument that there is no federal system that would readily clear United States citizens who are stopped during a traffic violation.
Some fear the law could lead to mass arrest of illegal immigrants in Arizona.
If they're breaking the law, there's that possibility, I would assume.
The justices appeared skeptical about the Obama administration's argument that the government, not states, should enforce immigration law.
The burden, of course, on the federal government in this case is to show
that there's a conflict between what the federal government has done in its congressional approach and what Arizona has done in its own approach.
Justice Elena Kagan is not taking part in the case because she worked on the issue while at the Justice Department. The remaining 8 justices could reach a 4-4 tie.
That means the lower court decision would stand. This law would not take effect.
The court is expected to issue its ruling at the end of June. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
And testimony continued in the criminal case against John Edwards. The former presidential candidate is accused of violating campaign finance laws, and today his former aide revealed new details about their relationship. Dick Brennan has the latest from Greensboro, North Carolina.
The prosecution's star witness Andrew Young spent a third day on the stand, working hard to avoid eye contact with his former boss. Prosecutors are counting on him to make the case that John Edwards used illegal campaign contributions to cover up his extramarital affair. Young described how his relationship with Edwards collapsed while he lived a so-called life on the run, hiding Riel Hunter. He says he even had a shouting match about it with Edwards that almost became physical. Legal experts say Young could be the prosecution's strongest weapon, but that he has not always been the best witness.
He was searching for words at times. It was noteworthy that he never looked at the jury, and that even in what appeared to be basic questions, he was thinking and rethinking what he was going to say.
In a book he wrote about the case, Young acknowledged he described secret contributions from donors as gifts, entirely proper and not subject to campaign finance laws. On the stand, Young says, quote, "I did this to cover my butt because the feds were investigating." The prosecution has to prove that Edwards not only knew about the payments, but also that he knew they were illegal. Now the defense gets to cross-examine the government's star witness.
They're going to try and paint Andrew Young as a guy who was blindly ambitious. He wasn't in it for John Edwards. He was in it for himself and his family.
Edwards' attorneys claim Young and his wife used the bulk of the money to build $1.5 million house. Young is testifying with immunity from prosecution. Dick Brennan for CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including how a 12-year-old boy saved his life and the life of his grandmother, you can tune into Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Courtney.
Thanks, Tiffany. And now Danielle Percival joins with a look at sports. So, Danielle, the baseball team was in action last night, and they plan on hitting the field again tonight as well.
Well, that's right, Courtney. They faced Auburn last night and just found out recently Alabama A&M has just gotten to the field within the last 10 minutes, so we'll see how that affects play tonight. But first, let's take a look back at last night. After being on the road the past week, the Trojan baseball team returned home last night to begin a 5-game home stretch. It was a rematch of a game just a week ago as the Auburn Tigers came to town after defeating the Trojans last Tuesday in Auburn. The Trojans might have had revenge on their minds, but as Dustin Carroll shows us, the Tigers dominated.
Tuesday night, the Troy baseball team was looking to get the bats going and pick up a momentum-building victory. Unfortunately, the Auburn pitching staff shut down the Trojans early and often on this night. The Tigers got it going early when Creed Simpson hit a solo home run in the first, and the Tigers offense would add 3 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, and 1 more in the 8th to seal the 7-0 win. The one bright spot for the Trojans was Logan Pierce with 2 hits. Coach Bobby Pierce talks about the tough loss.
You got to credit Auburn. They pitched well tonight. We never could really get much going. Had a little something going in the first inning and hit another ball hard, but unfortunately, Adam, that turned into an inning double play. And, hey, at that point, I thought, we were probably going to get some things going offensively. We looked pretty good in the first. Then we went, 3 or 4 innings there without a very good swing at all. Same guy on the mound. He throwing a decent little sinker that was giving us a little trouble. Thought we should have probably got a little bit more done. We couldn't, and tonight was Auburn's night.
Despite the long road trip this past weekend against Western Kentucky, Pierce thought the team would still come out energetic and focused.
Still a little road weary from the weekend. No excuses. It's just how it happens and what happens. Bats were a little slow. But still, I thought we were going to come out and score runs on a big night like tonight. Nice crowd. Really appreciate them being here. And a big game for our team. And we just never really could get on track in any way. So you have to credit the opponent.
Dustin Carroll, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
The Trojans have a quick turnaround as they are right back in action tonight at Riddle Pace Field. They'll be facing another in-state foe, Alabama A&M. First pitch is scheduled for 6 o'clock. Well, the baseball team took on the Tigers last night. Tonight, the softball team will be in action against the other team involved in the Iron Bowl. The Trojans will travel to Tuscaloosa to battle the Crimson Tide. Alabama is ranked 4th in the nation, and this will be the Trojans' 7th game of the season against a top 25 team. They're currently 3-3 against ranked opponents and had a 4-0 week this past week. Last season, the Trojans faced the Crimson Tide twice, including falling 5-2 in Troy. Coach Melanie Davis knows this will be an important challenge for her team.
It's just a great opportunity for us to get to face them, to help us get better. And, to be the best, you have to beat the best, play the best. And, they've gone back and forth between being number 1 and number 2. And we're just excited about the challenge.
Troy is 6-8 on the road this season, but on a 5-game winning streak. The Trojans and the Crimson Tide hit the diamond tonight at 6 o'clock in Tuscaloosa. The Trojan men's golf team finished their season today at the Sun Belt Conference Championship. They entered the day in 6th place after improving 23 strokes during the second round. In the third round, the team shot a .299, leaving them with a .901 for the tournament. The leading player for the Trojans was Tolver Dozier with a 4-over par .220 for the tournament. He finished tied for 5th place, while Jake Tucker ended tied for 15th with an 8-over par .224. The Trojan track and field team has moved to 14th place in the South region, heading into their final regular season match of the season. The Trojan men are also ranked 65th in the nation. Senior Martin Pildovs is leading their charge as he's ranked 4th in the nation in the men's javelin throw with a distance of 75.60 meters, which he achieved at the USA Invitational on April 13th. That left him first in the Sun Belt in the javelin throw. The Trojans have almost finished their season, and head coach Jill Lancaster says from here on out, it's all about execution.
We've done our training now. What we'll do from here on in is to crisp up. I'm known for working them really, really hard. So when we do come out of our training cycles, we freshen up really well. And the athletes have been in the program and commit and do it right. They know what's coming down the pipe, and they believe in it, and they know that we'll be ready when it counts.
The Trojans will play host to the 12th annual Coach O Invitational this weekend. There's going to be a lot of Trojan sports action tonight. We've got baseball here at home, softball on the road. We'll look to see how the Trojans do facing an opponent who's just gotten to the field not too long ago. Maybe that gives the Trojans a bit of an advantage. They need it coming off of a tough loss last night.
Exactly. Hopefully that'll give them a little bit of a spruce up.
That's right.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News. In today's edition of Trojan Talk, Erin Taylor sits down with Miss Troy University and talks about the new twist to her platform.
Plus, spring temperatures have returned as we saw temperatures reach the 80s today. Courtney, will the temperatures return?
Well, Courtney, it seems like it's time to keep your shorts and your flip-flops on for good. But I'll have more details coming up next in weather.
When a disaster strikes, time is a killer. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund jumpstarts relief efforts, which saves lives. Help us help in time. Donate now at rapiddisasterrelief.org.
Welcome home, man.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And Courtney Addison is here to join us with weather.
So Courtney, today was a beautiful day. Me and Courtney were even outside at the spring fling and the quad, just enjoying the sunny, warm weather. Should we be expecting the warm temperatures to stay around, or is it going to drop again?
Well, Tiffany, it looks like those warm weather and beautiful days should be continuing on into the weekend, but I'll have more on that. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. Looking at our campus snapshot, it's a beautiful day outside on the quad, lots of sun, even a little bit of breeze, so it's not too hot outside. And looking at our current conditions, we had fair skies today. The temperature is at 80, dew point at 53, humidity at 39%, barometer at 29.95 and falling, and winds coming in from the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour. And looking at today's stats, we had a high of 83, a low of 61. There was no rain. Sunrise was at 6:03 a.m., and the sun should set at 7:20 p.m. And looking at temperatures from around the state, we have Mobile coming in at 74, Birmingham at 81, Huntsville at 82, Montgomery at 83, Troy at 80, Phoenix City at 82, and Dothan at 81. throughout the state of Alabama. We see lots of sunny skies, beautiful weather outside in the 80s, so the weather's just right to get outside and enjoy the weather. And current temperatures around the southeast, we see very warm temperatures into the 80s, but even if we look back towards the west, they even saw temperatures reach into the 90s in Austin, Texas, so we could be looking to see that warm weather come into our area in the next couple of days. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. And current temperatures around the United States, even throughout the western part of the United States and central part of the United States, they have warmed up a very significant bit, seeing temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, and even parts of Texas even broke into the 100s. Parts of Texas are seeing temperatures in 102 and 101. And looking at our departure from normal, like I said, very warm temperatures throughout the United States, a lot warmer than we have been seeing lately. Some places even seeing up to 20 degrees warmer than they are used to. And for our current service now, we see a couple high pressure systems developing out in the west, not having a whole lot of effect on our area right now. But looking closer into our area, not a whole lot of action going on. The reason why we're having the beautiful weather that we are now. A little bit of showers if you go on up and you look into Tennessee, but not having any effect on us right now. And for Thursday, not much rain in our area, but if you are planning on traveling up into the northern part of the United States and northeastern part of the United States, there is a chance you could run into some rain, as well as if you go back towards the west, because there is a chance you could run into some rain there, and also some windy conditions. And for Thursday, same, not any rain in our area that we are expecting. A little bit of rain throughout the central part of the United States, so just be careful if you're going up that way. And Saturday, same, no rain in our area. There is a little bit in the peninsula of Florida. If you're planning on going south, there is a chance you could run into some scattered showers. And for Sunday, no rain in our area. There is a little bit of rain starting to develop out into the western part of Texas, which we could be expecting within the next week or two. And for tonight's forecast, mostly clear skies with a few passing clouds throughout the night, and light winds coming in from the south-southwest at 11 miles per hour with a low of 59. And tomorrow's forecast, partly cloudy skies with a very high UV index, with a cool breeze coming in from the southwest at 14 miles per hour with a high of 86. A very beautiful day outside. Make sure you get outside and enjoy the weather. Even go swimming if you even get the chance. And for our class outlook, 7 a.m. we could see coming in at 62. 10 a.m. it's warmed up a significant bit to 71. And by 1 p.m. we're back into the 80s again at 82. And by 3 p.m. we should be seeing temperatures into 84. And for our 4-day forecast, we see Thursday with a high of 86 and a low of 62. Friday, a high of 85, a low of 63. Saturday, a high of 85 with a low of 61. And Sunday with a high of 89. Beautiful skies, what we can be expecting for the next 4 days. No rain is expected for the next couple of days. We can get outside and make sure we enjoy Troy Fest for the weekend and just enjoy the beautiful weather. So, Tiffany, beautiful weather is expected for the next 4 days. We can expect to see those very warm temperatures so we can get outside and enjoy the 80-degree weather, because it won't be too much longer and we could be seeing temperatures up into the hundreds, and it's so hot you can't stand it outside.
It's definitely looking like a great start to the end of the semester.
Yes.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thanks.